So finally, I've got an excuse to do a bit of a deep dive into some Premier League players. Over the last 2 years, I've not really watched much Premier League football. I think when you start on Sorare, especially when the Prem weren't there, it totally changes the way you look at football and the way you interact with it. But the Premier League has landed, so I'm going to start looking at Premier League players again, and I'm going to see who I think's worth adding to my gallery. So I do have a slightly different approach to things here. Normally I'd look at players that are gonna help me out right now, and where if my teams are lacking in something, I usually go to the market and start buying players. But in this one, I'm going to have a look at some of the up-and-coming younger Premier League players. And I'm doing that for two main reasons. So one of them is the gallery that I've got and the competitions that I target. I'm quite happy with what I've got. The gallery that I've got, I can compete in the tournaments that I want to compete in, and I can win cards. So I'm happy enough doing that. And the other reason is I've not got the money to go out buying these big name cards. So this is a short list of the players that I think are value for money right now, but also have the potential to become massive in the next few years. So for me, it keeps my investment down, and hopefully I'll be able to pick a few players that I'll be able to use down the line. So this is sort of my youth academy, let's say. So the players that are going to come up through my ranks, and when some of my players retire, hopefully these guys are going to come in. We'll call it the FC Mojo youth. Just one last thing before we get into it. Stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you some tips on the best time to actually buy these cards. But anyway, let's get on. Right, we'll start off with centre-back at Brighton, Levy Colwill. He was at Huddersfield last season, and everyone seemed to be after him in the summer. Brighton ended up getting him on loan. I take that to mean that Chelsea don't really want to let him go permanently. He's only 19. Did do a little bit of research on him. I can see he was out with an injury in September, which makes his SO5 scores look a bit naff. But I wouldn't let that put me off. I'm thinking it might be a good time to grab him while there's like doubts about him. Looking at his scores, people don't know that might be put people off. But yeah, he's been getting 90 minutes, so I think for me it's going to be a good threshold pick, that one. So another one I was looking at was Luke Thomas at Leicester City. I think they've struggled at left back, Leicester, over the last couple of seasons really, but Luke Thomas seems to be doing the bizzo there. I think he's more of a fullback than a centre-back, actually. But so, yeah, 75 appearances plus 10 caps for England under-21s. So, yeah, he's got a good CV there. The only caveat here, when I've looked into it, I was doing a bit of research, and there's someone coming in, Copenhagen, Christiansen. The bits that I was looking at led me to believe that he might struggle. But that said, I mean, age-wise, he's on the right side, you know what I mean? So, yeah, he's going to make the watch list as well. So, the next one in centre mid is Joe Hodge from Wolves. He left Man City, fraudulent slip there. He left Man City to join Wolves in 2021. He seems to have broke through this year, and yeah, his first Premier League game was against Everton. He looks the part. He's made 10 appearances in total, and he signed a new long-term deal last week. So, yeah, I think he's a good one to have on the list there, and I'm gonna keep an eye on the price on that one. Next one, Samuel Adozie, Southampton. He's been getting minutes there. He joined for 10 million fee in the summer. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised to see him go from City. He was looking really good. I'm surprised they didn't keep hold of him, but there's that much talent there at the moment. I can kind of see it, but I mean, he's only 19, and I think he's only trending in one direction. Looking at his price and that, yeah, I think he's a good one to stick on the list. The next one, probably not that much of a surprise to most. Right back, Rico Lewis. He definitely looks the part. The last few games that I've seen him in, he's been really good. Pep seems to like him at right back. He's tried him in a couple of other positions as well, but yeah, as a right back, yeah, I can see him getting in over Kyle Walker at some point. Yeah, he captained City's under 18 side last year as well. He scored on his first Champions League start against Sevilla. I just don't. There's not a lot there to not like about Lewis. I think he's definitely the part. I think he's definitely one for the future. And like I say, he's getting in now. So yeah, he's a good one. Next one on the list, at Newcastle, Elliot Anderson. Yeah, he had a spell on loan at Bristol. He bagged 8 goals and 5 assists in 21 games. He helped Bristol get out of League Two. Now I know it's at a different level. He's like Premier League, but again, he does get minutes. I think he's a good threshold player. This one, he's one that could come on and do the business, and definitely one for the future. He recently got a long term contract as well, so that tells its own story, doesn't it? Another one to look at is striker Even Ferguson, and he's at Brighton at the moment. Not much I need to say about this kid. You just need to take a look at his scores. He's 18 years old. He's bagged 3 Premier League goals and 2 assists, and he only started in 2 of them. I think it's 4 games, if I remember rightly. Just have a look at the goals. Have a look at his goals there, and you can decide for yourself. But he's definitely ranks up there on my list, and yeah, that's there's a few good ones on there for you to have a look at. Yeah, so that's my picks. I've done my research on these guys, and these are the ones that stood out to me. Obviously, you can do your own research, and might have missed out on some. It's very rare, but you never know. The other thing is, there was one player on my list, and that was Joe Hodge, who hasn't actually got a Sorare card yet. So for this, you can go onto his page here. So his pictures there, which says to me that Sorare have got his picture and they're in the middle of making his card. Sometimes they mess up and a couple of cards get missing out of the pack, but they will eventually come round, and especially if people are crying out for them, they make sure they go through. But what you can do here is, I've done it already, you can click on this bell sign here, and you can get a notification when this player comes out, so you can be the first. You'll get an email, you can get on, and you can be the first. So there's only 20 people following this kid at the moment. I'm one of them, and you can get in there first and get it bought while no one's looking. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about, I promised you at the start, was some tips on when to buy these players. So because Premier League's just landed, I don't think it's the best time to be buying. So what you get is you get collectors that want the really low edition cards. And these cards, they want the number ones, they want the low end edition, they want to be the first to get these cards out. If you're not in a position to be whacking out a load of cash on cards straight away, which I'm in the same boat as you, hang on a couple of weeks, because from experience I've found that the price will come down a little bit. The first few weeks are really intense in terms of prices. You can look at the charts and you'll see where the cards get released, and they're really high at the start and they start to come down. But that's my advice for you anyway. Hold out, play with your free cards, play with your commons, enjoy the game, see how it goes for you. And I think that's about it for now. Have a great game week, and I'll see you on the next one.